As he stepped out of the time-dilated elevator, Tom felt the familiar tug of gravity's reversal, like a gentle hand on the small of his back, urging him toward the ceiling. The doors slid open with a hiss, revealing a futuristic cityscape that seemed to stretch on forever. The sky was a deep shade of lavender, and the air was alive with the hum of gravity generators. Tom's eyes adjusted slowly to the bright light, and he spotted a hooded figure waiting for him by the elevator's edge. The figure's face was obscured by shadows, but Tom sensed a faint aura of unease emanating from it. "You're Tom Harris?" the figure asked, its voice muffled by the hood. Tom nodded, his mind racing. Who was this person, and how did they know his name? "I have a message for you," the figure continued, "from the entity known as the Keeper." Tom's heart skipped a beat. The Keeper was a mythical figure, rumored to possess the power to manipulate the fabric of reality itself. "What does it want with me?" Tom asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The figure handed him a small, intricately carved box. "You'll know when you open it," it said, before turning and disappearing into the crowd. Tom's fingers closed around the box, feeling an otherworldly energy emanating from it. A shiver ran down his spine as he realized that his life was about to change forever. He hesitated for a moment, then carefully lifted the lid of the box. A puff of iridescent smoke escaped, carrying with it the faintest hint of ozone and burning leaves. As the smoke cleared, Tom saw a small, glowing orb nestled in the box's velvet-lined interior. The orb began to pulse, its light growing brighter and more intense until Tom felt himself being drawn into its radiant center. Suddenly, he was no longer standing in the crowded elevator lobby, but hurtling through a tunnel of swirling colors and distorted geometries. When the vortex dissipated, Tom found himself in a vast, labyrinthine library. Towering shelves stretched toward the ceiling, their surfaces lined with books that seemed to shimmer and writhe like living things. The air was heavy with the musty scent of old paper and forgotten knowledge. A figure emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly intensity. Tom sensed that this was the Keeper, the entity rumored to hold the very fabric of reality together. "You have been chosen," the Keeper declared, its voice like the rustling of ancient parchment. "Chosen to fulfill an important task, one that will determine the course of human destiny." Tom felt a surge of trepidation mixed with curiosity. What task could be so crucial, and what did the Keeper mean by human destiny? "What do you want me to do?" Tom asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The Keeper's gaze seemed to bore into his very soul. "I will give you a map," it said, holding out a delicate crystal orb. "Follow it, and you will uncover the secrets of the Chronosphere." Tom's mind reeled as the Keeper's words trailed off, lost in the complexity of the task ahead. What lay hidden within the Chronosphere, and what secrets would he uncover? The crystal orb began to glow, and Tom felt an electric tingle in his fingers as he took it from the Keeper. The orb's surface was etched with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and dance in the light. "Follow the map," the Keeper repeated, its eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. "You will pass through the gates of eternity and into the realm of the Chronosphere." As the Keeper spoke, the air around Tom began to ripple and distort, like the surface of a pond struck by a stone. The shelves of the labyrinthine library seemed to fade into the background, replaced by a gleaming, silver archway that pulsed with a soft, blue light. "The gates of eternity," the Keeper whispered, its voice barely audible over the sudden rush of wind. Tom felt himself being drawn toward the archway, the crystal orb glowing brighter in his hand. He took a step forward, and then another, until he stood at the threshold of the shimmering portal. Beyond the gates, Tom saw a realm of swirling colors and distorted geometries, like the surface of a kaleidoscope turned upside down. Time itself seemed to writhe and twist, like a living serpent. With the crystal orb guiding him, Tom stepped through the portal and into the heart of the Chronosphere. The gates slammed shut behind him, leaving him alone in a realm where time was currency, and the fabric of reality was woven from the threads of past, present, and future. Tom's journey had begun, and with it, The fate of humanity hung in the balance. What secrets lay hidden within the Chronosphere? And what mysteries would he uncover as he navigated the labyrinthine paths of time itself? As Tom ventured deeper into the Chronosphere, the crystal orb led him through a maze of twisted corridors and mirrored halls. Reflections of reflections stared back at him. Echoes of echoes whispered in his ear. Time was a fluid, ever-shifting entity here, and Tom struggled to maintain a grip on his own identity. Suddenly, the orb halted, suspended in midair before a door adorned with cryptic symbols. The door slid open with a hiss, revealing a chamber filled with clocks of every shape and size. Pendulums swung in rhythmic unison, their gentle ticking a counterpoint to the cacophony of whispers in Tom's mind. In the center of the room, a magnificent clockwork throne dominated the space. Seated upon it, a figure shrouded in shadows gazed out at Tom with eyes that burned like embers. "Welcome, Tom Harris," the figure declared, its voice like the strike of 100 tiny hammers. "I am the Timekeeper, guardian of the Chronosphere. You have been chosen to receive a gift, one that will change the course of human history." The Timekeeper raised a hand, and a delicate, mechanical bird took flight from its fingers. The bird's wings beat in a blur of motion, leaving a trail of glittering, silver dust in its wake. As Tom watched, mesmerized, the dust coalesced into a small, ornate box. "The Box of Eternity," the Timekeeper whispered, its voice dripping with an otherworldly intensity. "Within lies the power to reshape the fabric of time itself. Use it wisely, Tom Harris, for the fate of humanity hangs in the balance." Tom's heart raced as he reached out to claim the box. What secrets lay hidden within, and what consequences would arise from unlocking its power? As Tom's fingers closed around the box, a searing pain shot through his head, like a crack of lightning on a summer's day. The room around him began to blur, and the clock's rhythmic ticking grew louder, more insistent. The Timekeeper's voice echoed in his mind. "Beware the price of power, Tom Harris. The Box of Eternity exacts a toll on those who wield it." The chamber began to dissolve, replaced by a kaleidoscope of images and emotions, each one flashing by in rapid succession. Tom saw glimpses of his own past, his parents, his childhood, all swirling together in a mad dance. When the visions faded, Tom found himself back in the labyrinthine library, the Keeper standing before him once more. "The Box of Eternity is a curse and a blessing," the Keeper stated, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly intensity. "Its power will tempt you, corrupt you, and ultimately destroy you. Yet, it is the only way to prevent the coming catastrophe." Tom's mind reeled as he clutched the box, feeling the weight of the responsibility settling upon him. What catastrophe loomed on the horizon, and how could he, a mere mortal, hope to prevent it? As he stared into the abyss of uncertainty, a faint whisper echoed through his mind. "The Clockwork Conspiracy,"